Love me in the in-between, not quite yours, not quite free. Kept my heart on a thin, tight string, close enough to make me believe. You say, just give it time, like time was on our side. I held on to every maybe, while you held on to your pride. I built a home in promises that never had a door. I called it love, but looking back, it was something less, something unsure. We were love on false hope, hanging by a thread of what if, breathing in the smoke of words that never meant commitment. You said soon it'll be right, so I stayed through every lonely night. But hope can only hold so long before you see where you don't belong. It was love on false hope. I memorized your empty vows like they were written in the stars. You kept me in your almost world, but never in your arms. You'd reach for me when you were low, but disappear when you were strong. I was your comfort in the dark, but never where you belong. I told myself you'd choose me when the timing felt okay, but love shouldn't need a deadline or a better day. We were love on false hope, built on someday and we'll see, dancing on a tightrope between truth and fantasy. You said just trust my heart while keeping yours worlds apart. I gave you all I had to give for a love that didn't live. It was love on false hope. I was holding on to fire, burning slowly in my hands, trying to turn your hesitation into something I could stand. But you can't force a heart to stay if it's already halfway gone, and you can't make a future grow where it never belonged. I kept believing you'd come through, that one day I'd be chosen, but I was loving someone who was already closing. We were love on false hope, clinging to a fragile dream, drowning just to cope with what we'd never be. You said I cared too much, but never cared enough. Now I'm finally letting go of the maybe and the almost of love on false hope. I deserved a love that's certain, not one that comes and goes. I was fighting for forever, you were feeding me false hope. There's a picture on the wall, crooked from the fall, of everything we used to be before we lost it all. Your echo fills the hallway, but you're not really there. Just a ghost of something beautiful fading in the air. We built our love like a castle, stone by fragile stone. I didn't know forever could crumble on its own. Now it's my heart in ruins, scattered on the floor. Every promise broken, like the lock on our front door. My heart in ruins, where your love once stood. I'd rebuild it if I could, but I don't think I should. There's nothing left to hold on to, just silence and the truth, standing in the wreckage of me and you. I still sleep on your side of what we used to share. Like somehow in the morning you'll be lying there. I trace the cracks you left across my fragile chest. You said you'd always protect me, but you were the deepest cut I kept. How do you walk away from something you once swore? How do you close your eyes and not feel it anymore? Now it's my heart in ruins, dust where dreams had grown, trying to find the pieces of a love I thought I'd known. My heart in ruins, under open skies, where forever slowly died without a last goodbye. You left me with the melody and the weight of what we lost, standing in the wreckage, counting up the cost. I gave you all the light in me, every hidden part. You said we'd stand through anything, but you tore us apart. Maybe love's not always enough to make it through. Maybe some hearts break no matter what you do. Soft breakdown, I'm sweeping up the fragments of who I used to be, trying to find the girl before you shattered me. Now it's my heart in ruins, but it's still beating somehow. Even in the silence, even here and now, my heart in ruins, still learning how to stand with trembling hands on broken land. You took away our future, but you didn't take my truth. I'm rising from the wreckage of me and you. The walls may be in pieces and the sky may not be blue, but even in these ruins, I'm stronger than I was with you. You held my face between your hands like I was something rare. Looked in my eyes and swore to me no one else compared. You painted pictures of our life with white fences and gold rings. I folded all my doubts away and trusted everything. Your voice was steady, warm and true. There was no shadow in your smile. If love was just a game to you, I didn't see the trial. I believed you. Every I never hurt you. Every baby, it's always you. I let my walls fall down. I believed you when you said you'd stay forever. Through any storm, through any weather. Now I'm the one alone, crying in the truth. I believed you. You said my heart was safe with yours, that I could let it rest. But safety turned to shattered glass inside my chest. I replay all the nights you swore you never say goodbye. Now every promise you once made is just another lie. Was I the only one who tried? You closed the door without a sound and left me asking why. I believed you. Every whispered I need you. Every dream that we would see through. I thought our love was strong. I believed you when you said we were unbreakable. Losing me was unthinkable. Now I'm barely holding on, drowning in the proof. I believed you. If you knew your heart was changing, why didn't you let me go? Why build a world around my soul? But you let me fall so deep in love, with nothing left to lose. Sometimes I blame myself for trusting every word, but loving you so fearlessly was the bravest thing I've ever done. I believed you when you said I was your always, that you never walk away, that I was your whole world. I believed you. Now forever feels like a lie, and I'm the girl who's left the things you swore were true. I believed you. Maybe loving you was honest. Maybe I was just naive. You walked away without a bruise, but I still believe. The sun comes through the curtains like it always used to do. Paints a quiet golden halo on the side that's missing you. Your pillow's still beside me, but it's colder than before. There's an echo in the silence where your breathing was once warm. Nights are hard, but I survive them, wrapped in memories warning. It's the light that breaks me open. I miss you in the morning. I miss you in the morning, when the world feels new, when the coffee's brewing slowly and I reach for you. I miss the way you'd pull me close before the day would start. The lazy little promises you whispered in the dark. Evenings let me hide it, but daylight leaves me mourning. I don't just miss you sometimes, I miss you in the morning. Your toothbrush still sits by mine like you're coming home again, and I swear I hear your footsteps in the hallway now and then. I scroll through old good mornings with hearts beside my name. Funny how two simple words will never sound the same. I can make it through the daytime, keep my smile performing, but healing feels the farthest when I miss you in the morning. I miss you in the morning, in the quiet of the dawn, when I wake up half expecting to find you still not gone. I miss your sleepy laughter, your hand against my skin, the way you'd say 5 more minutes and pull me back in. Midnight lets me numb it, but sunrise leaves me warning that losing you is loudest when I miss you in the morning. I almost wish for darkness so I don't have to see the empty side of forever lying next to me. Not every tear falls loudly, not every ache takes form. Sometimes it's just the sunlight and missing you in the morning. I miss you in the morning more than late at night. when the world is waking up and nothing feels right. I miss who I was beside you, safe and half asleep. I miss the little future we promised we would keep. And maybe time will heal me. Maybe I'll stop mourning, but right now love feels loudest when I miss you. The morning. I'm standing in the doorway with your name still on my lips. Half of me is begging you, the other's letting slip. We built a life on maybe, oh, we'll be okay somehow. But somehow feel so far away from where we're standing now. I still feel your heartbeat when you're lying next to me. But something's missing in between what was and what won't be. I'm torn in two between loving you and loving myself enough to finally choose. I'm torn in two between hope and truth, still holding on while letting go of you. My heart don't know what to do. I'm torn in two. You say we just need time, like time can fix the cracks. But time just shows the distance we're too afraid to face. I see it in your silence, in the way you pull away, like you're already somewhere else, but just too scared to say. I don't wanna lose you, but I don't wanna break. And loving you this way is more than I can take. I'm torn in two between staying for us and walking away before I lose my trust. I'm torn in two between wrong and right, still fighting for a spark in a fading light. My soul feels bruised and blue. I'm torn in two. Was meant to last. Why does it hurt like this? Why does every memory feel like a goodbye kiss? I wish you'd make it easy, say the words I fear, but we're both too lost in pride to make it clear. Half of me still sees forever, of them are breaking, trying to choose. I'm torn in two between who we were and who we've become and what we can't recover. I'm torn in two between tears and strength, between holding on and loving at arm's length. I never thought I'd have to choose between me and you, but I'm torn in two. Maybe someday I'll look back and know I did what I had to do. But tonight I'm just standing here, torn in two. House don't echo like it used to. No more slamming doors, just the ticking of the clock and footsteps on the floor. Your shadow doesn't haunt me like it did before. Now it's just a memory I don't chase anymore. It's strange how loud a heartbreak is before it fades away, and how the deepest wounds start closing in the gray. I'm healing in the quiet, in the stillness of the night, where no one sees the tears, but I'm finally alright. Healing in the quiet, where the noise of us is gone. Learning how to hold myself when I feel alone. It's not a grand revival, no fireworks or riot, just a heart putting itself back together. Healing in the quiet. I used to drown in memories, now I let them pass, like leaves along a river floating from the past. I don't jump when my phone lights up, I don't hope it's you, and that might sound like nothing, but it's something new. I thought I needed closure or one more last goodbye, but peace came softly when I stopped asking why. I'm healing in the quiet, in the mornings on my own, with coffee and the sunrise and strength I didn't know. Healing in the quiet, with every breath I take, with every small forgiveness I give for my own sake. It's not about forgetting or pretending I don't care. It's finding who I am again when you're sting a little. Some nights still feel long, but I don't fall apart now when I hear our old song. I carry what was real, but I leave behind the pain. And every silent step I take is freedom in my veins. Soft brain to shout my healing, or prove that I survived. The strongest kind of courage is rebuilding from inside. I'm healing in the quiet from the girl who begged you to stay, from the version of forever that slowly slipped away. Healing in the quiet where my broken heart can rest, no longer chasing someone who couldn't give their best. I loved you without limit, but now I choose my own light, and I'm finally finding peace, healing in the quiet. The silence doesn't scare me, it feels like open sky. And in the hush between heartbeats, I'm learning how to fly. We had all been out intentions, all the maybe this will work. Late night drives and whispered promises, trying to outrun the hurt. You fit so close beside me, like you almost felt like home, but almost doesn't hold you when you're waking up alone. No shattered doors behind us, no cruel words thrown around, just something slowly breaking without making a sound. It just wasn't us, no matter how we tried. We had the love, the hope, but something didn't align. We held on to forever with trembling fingertips, but destiny kept slipping through our hopeful grip. It would be easier to call it bad luck, or say we weren't enough, but it just wasn't us. You still looked at me with softness, still said my name the same, but I could feel the distance.
Heartbroken.
You still looked at me with softness, still said my name the same, but I could feel the distance. When you were waking up alone, growing without blame. We trace the same old patterns, walk circles in the dark, trying to spark a fire from a fading spark. I almost wished for anger, for something clear and loud, but the quiet kind of ending hangs heavier somehow. It just wasn't us, no villain, no mistake, no shattered trust between us, no promises to break. We didn't lose to weakness, we didn't lose to pride. We just couldn't find a way to stay side by side. It would be easier to say we rushed our love too much, but it just wasn't us. Now I'm learning how to miss you without turning you to stone, how to hold what we were without wishing you were home. Not every love is meant to last, not every spark's a flame. Sometimes two good hearts just don't beat the same. It just wasn't us, and that's the hardest truth. When everything felt almost right, but still we couldn't move. We tried to write a future in ink that wouldn't stay. We held each other close while slipping away. It doesn't make you wrong, it doesn't make me tough. It just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't us. There's a velvet box still hidden in the back of my drawer, dust collecting on a promise I don't reach for anymore. You said it was just timing, that we needed something more, but forever doesn't hesitate at the door. I used to trace the outline where it should have been, a circle of forever on trembling skin. It's the ring I never wore, the life we never lived, the vows we never said, the love I had to forgive. It's the ring I never wore, still shining in the dark, a silver little reminder of a shattered heart. We were so close to always, now I'm closing that door on the ring I never wore. I pictured you beside me with white lace friends and family smiling at a love that wouldn't fail. Now those dreams feel distant, like a story someone told of a girl who almost had it all, but let it go. You said you needed freedom, said you felt unsure, but love that's meant to last doesn't fear forever. It's the ring I never wore, the hand I never held, walking down an aisle that only lives inside myself. It's the ring I never wore, the future that dissolved, the fairy tale we built that time couldn't resolve. I thought you were my answer, but love became a war over the ring I never wore. I don't hate the memories or the way we used to be. I just hate that loving you cost so much of me. Maybe one day someone will place one on my hand, and it won't feel like a question or a shifting stand. Sometimes almost forever hurts more than goodbye, because it lives in what if and never really dies. It's the ring I never wore, but I'm letting it go. I won't measure my worth by a promise you couldn't hold. It's the ring I never wore, but I'm still shining too. I don't need a circle to prove what I can do. We were almost something sacred. Now I know what I deserve, and the next time I say yes, it won't be unsure. I'll close the velvet box tonight and leave it on the floor, because I deserve a love that I don't have to beg for. Not a dream, not a war, not the ring I never wore. There's a space across the table where your laughter used to land, an empty chair that holds more than it can stand. The walls still know your stories, they hum them late at night, but all that's left between us is quiet and white. I didn't hear the moment when the silence grew. I just woke up one morning without you. Now I'm living where your voice was, in the echo of your name, in the pause before I answer, like you might call again, in the air that still remains fills the hallway where you walked away. It would be easier if you left in anger, if you'd made it loud because, but I'm standing in the silence where your voice was. Favorite song came on today, and I forgot to breathe. For a second I was reaching for a hand that isn't me. Your mug is in the cupboard, your jacket on the hook. Funny how the smallest things still make my heart look. Between us, no cruel words thrown, just two gentle hearts who couldn't make it home. Now I'm living where your voice was, in the space you left behind, in the good night that I whisper to a love I couldn't find, in the questions with no answers, in the tears that come and go, in the quiet kind of heartbreak only we would know. It's harder when it's tender, when no one's at fault. I'm walking through the silence where your voice was. You'd shattered me, given me a scar, 'cause wounds can fade with time, but echoes stay where they are. Every ending crashes, not every heart turns cold. Sometimes it's just a softness you're never meant to hold. Now I'm living where your voice was, and it's louder than before. In every empty doorway, in every closed door. You're not here to say you love me, but I still hear the sound of every promise we made spinning around. Maybe someday this silence won't feel like it does, but tonight I'm standing where your voice was. We wrote our names in golden light on walls we thought would stand, built a future out of dreams and traced it hand in hand. You said our love was fireproof, that nothing could undo the way our hearts were intertwined. think it was always true. But flames don't ask for permission before they lose their glow. And forever isn't forever when one heart lets go. Now all that's left are ashes of forever, scattered in the wind, pieces of a promise that will never live again. Ashes of forever falling through my hands. I'm trying to remember what we had before it ended. We were burning bright together. Now I'm standing in the embers of the ashes of forever. Your picture's still on my dresser, but the colors start to fade, like the way you said you loved me before you walked away. You held me on that last night like you didn't want to lose. But love can't survive in silence when there's nothing left to choose. You let the fire weaken while I tried to make it last. Now I'm holding on to smoke from a love that's in the past. Left after ashes of forever, drifting through my mind, echoes of a future we were never meant to find. Ashes of forever settling in my chest, a love that felt like everything but couldn't pass the test. We were supposed to last forever. Now I'm left to gather the ashes of forever. If you knew your heart was changing, why didn't you tell me then? Why let me keep believing in a story near its end? I would have braced my fragile soul if truth had lit the way. But you let the fire die without a word to say. Sometimes love leaves slowly without a crashing sound. It turns into a memory before it hits the ground. Now all that's left are ashes of forever, falling like the rain. 1,000 little remnants of love we couldn't say. Ashes of forever, but I'm still breathing through. Even in the wreckage, I survived loving you. We were meant to burn together, but I'm rising from the embers of the ashes of forever. The fire may be gone, but I'll remember how it felt before forever turned to ashes. We sketched it out on napkins at that little corner cafe. A house with painted shutters and a porch where we'd grow gray. You drew a crooked garden, I drew a sky of blue. We colored in forever like we knew it would come true. We talked about the small things like they were set in stone. I never thought I'd watch them fade into unknown. The future we drew is folded in a box with all the plans we made and all the ticking clocks. The future we drew still lives inside my mind in pencil lines and promises we left behind. We were so sure we knew what love could do. Now all that's left is the future we drew. You said we'd take that highway out west when we got bored. Said we'd chase the sunsets like something we'd afford. We named the dog we'd someday get argued over paint. It felt so real back then, now it feels so faint. It wasn't just imagination, it was hope in disguise. And hope can build a kingdom on two honest eyes. The future we drew had both our names in ink, had wedding bells and baby shoes and a kitchen sink. The future we drew had no room for goodbye, no space for broken vows or unanswered why. We were building something beautiful from nothing but a view. Now I'm standing in the silent sun of the future we drew. Did you erase it slowly, or did it fall apart? Was I the only one who carried it in her heart? I still see the outlines of what we used to be, like chalk washed by the rain, but still visible to me. Sometimes I close my eyes and walk through it alone, through every room we dreamed but never owned. The future we drew was more than just a plan. It was every whispered always and every held hand. The future we drew didn't survive the truth, but it taught me how to love the way I loved you. We were young and certain, like forever always knew. Now I'm learning how to live beyond the future we drew. One day I'll draw again with steadier lines and clearer view, but I'll always remember the future we drew. more charming in the shadows, careful with the truth, saying just enough to keep me holding on to you. You disappear for hours and show up with a kiss, and I would call it complicated instead of what it is. There were red flags in the silence, warning signs in your tone, but love can make a blind heart feel like it's not alone. I should have known by the way you wouldn't stay, by the way your I love you felt rehearsed some days. I should have known when forever felt unsure, when I was giving you my all and you were keeping doors half open, half closed. I should have known. You never talked about tomorrow without changing the subject fast. You loved me in the present, but never in the plans. I was fighting for a future, you were living for the now. I kept building us a home while you were figuring out. I mistook your hesitation for a heart that needed time, but time just gave you distance while I gave you mine. I should have known from the way you held my head, like you weren't sure you wanted to be my man. I should have known when you said let's just see, love's not something temporary, at least not to me. But I was too in love to let you go. I should have known. I saw the truth in little things, the way you'd pull away, how your eyes would lose their light when I'd ask you to stay. I silenced every doubt I had to keep from being alone. But sometimes the hardest truth is we ignore what we're shown. Maybe I didn't want to see what was right in front of me, 'cause loving you felt easier than facing reality. I should have known by the cracks beneath the smile, by the way you loved me, only for a while. I should have known when I felt it in my chest that I was loving someone who wasn't giving their best. Now I'm standing here alone with a heart that's overthrown. I should have known. I should have known. If I had listened to my soul instead of holding on, maybe it wouldn't hurt this much. Now that you are gone. Had to pull the car aside. The melody was meant for white, and tears of joy not mine. We chose it on a Friday night, dancing in the dark. You spun me like a bride to be and kissed me in the spark. You said this will be our first dance when everyone's around. Now it's just an echo of a love that's not found. Now I'm playing our wedding song alone in a room that doesn't feel like home. No aisle, no flowers in my hair, just empty space and folding chairs. I hear the vows we never spoke, feel the promise that you broke. We were almost carved in stone. Now I'm dancing to our wedding song alone. I pictured walking toward you with my father by my side, your eyes locked onto mine, like you couldn't hide your pride. But instead you walked away before we reached that day. And every dream I held so tight just slowly slipped away. They say some songs are timeless, but this one hurts too deep. It plays inside my memory when I'm trying to sleep. I'm playing our wedding song alone with tears I've never shown. The harmony still sounds the same, but nothing feels like home. I hear the future in each note, the life that never grew. It's strange how love can fade away, but the music's still say always and forever still means I'm playing our wedding song alone, but I'm learning how to stand. Even if the love we had slipped right through my hands, I hear the girl I used to be, believing in the tone, but she's stronger now than she has ever known. One day I'll dance in white again with someone who won't roam, but tonight I'm healing slowly to our wedding song alone. The music fades, the room goes still. I whisper to the dark, some songs don't lead to altars, they just break your heart. We were leaning on a feeling, too fragile to be strong, calling it forever, when we both knew something's wrong. We painted over fractures with laughter and late night calls, but love can't hide the tremble when the foundation falls. You blamed it on the distance, I blamed it on the time, but deep inside we felt it slipping through our hands like wine. The fall was ours, not yours, not mine. We were walking on a wire, ignoring every sign. The fall was ours, two hearts misaligned, holding on too tightly to a love already dying. We didn't break in thunder, we just lost who we are. The fall was ours. You stopped reaching for my fingers, I stopped asking why. We both felt the silence growing in the night. We kept saying we'll fix it, like saying made it true, but effort needs two voices, and we were down to few. as we both watched it slowly fade to gray. The fall was ours in every unsaid word, and every time we chose our pride instead of being heard. The fall was ours in the tears we never cried, in the way we turned to strangers while standing side by side. We were losing ground together from the very start. The fall was ours. Maybe love isn't always about who's wrong or right. Maybe sometimes two good hearts just can't survive the fight. I don't hate you for the ending, and I hope you don't hate me. We just held on to something we couldn't let be free. It hurts a little less knowing we both tried, but trying doesn't stop a slow goodbye. The fall was ours in the way we let it slip, in the way we lost the magic in each other's grip. The fall was ours, but I still feel the scar of loving you so deeply for exactly who you are. We were beautiful and broken from the very start. The fall was ours. I'll remember what we had, not just the falling part. Sometimes love just isn't meant to outgrow the heart. The fall was ours. Talk about forever like it was a place we go. Now forever feels like somewhere that I don't even know. Your side of the bed is colder, your voice doesn't feel the same. We're standing in the same room, but we're oceans away. We try to paint the cracks like they weren't spreading wide, but love can't heal what's broken when truth is pushed aside. There's no way back to us, too many words unsaid, too many nights I cried alone beside you in our bed. There's no way back to us, too much damage done. We held on till there was nothing left to hold on to anymore. We can't pretend it's just a phase or blame it on bad luck. There's no way back to us. see hesitation where love used to be. We keep saying let's just try, but trying feels like pain. You can't rebuild a bridge when both sides walk away. I wish the love was stronger than pride and fear and doubt, but sometimes letting go is the only way out. There's no way back to us. We crossed too many lines, lost ourselves in silence and left the truth behind. There's no way back to us. We're strangers in disguise, holding on to memories while watching love die. We can't rewind the story or fix what we broke. There's no way back to us. If I could turn the clock around, would it change a thing? Or would we still be standing here with broken wedding rings? Maybe we were meant to burn bright, but not too long. Maybe loving you was right, but staying would be wrong. And soft break touch to say goodbye to the life we almost had, but sometimes almost is all you get. There's no way back to us, no matter how we try. Some hearts just drift apart, no matter how they cry. There's no way back to us. The truth is hard but clear. Love can't survive when it disappears. So I'll take what's left of me and learn to trust that there's no way back to us. I'll always remember the way it was, but I'm finally strong enough to leave. There's no way back to us. We were lying on the carpet, tracing shapes up in the sky. You said, what if we had a girl? And I laughed at how you tried. We picked her name so carefully, like it was already hers. Rolled it off our tongues at night, like a sacred little word. We talked about a little boy with your eyes and my smile. We weren't just dreaming futures, we were living them a while. We named our kids like they were on their way, like love was strong enough to make forever stay. We named our kids in whispers after dark, built a whole tomorrow inside my hopeful heart. Now those names just echo in a house that never did. We were so in love, we named our kids. He said he'd play guitar like you, and she'd dance in the rain. We argued over middle names, like it was a sweet little game. I pictured family photos, frames along the wall. Now I can't even say those names without feeling the fall. It wasn't just a breakup, it wasn't just goodbye. It was losing every version of the life we designed. We named our kids like it was set in stone, like I never have to raise them on my own. We named our kids before we had a ring, before we knew how fragile two hearts can be. Now those dreams feel farther than they ever did. We were almost forever. We named our kids. Sometimes I wonder if you ever think of them, if those names still haunt you like they haunt me when I hear someone call them in a grocery store line, and I feel a future that was once mine. It hurts in a quiet way no one else can see, grieving little souls that will never be. We named our kids with so much certainty, like nothing in this world could take that from me. We named our kids, and now I understand. Love can build a whole life that never touches land. You didn't just break my heart, you broke what we once lived in the softest kind of way. We named our kids. Maybe one day I'll say those names with someone who stays, but tonight they're just memories of better days, when we were young and fearless, and love was everything. Before the silence answered where those children would have been. I keep the TV playing so the silence doesn't speak. Leave the lights on in the hallway so the dark won't swallow me. Your picture's turned face down, but I still know where it is. Like pretending not to look changes what I miss. I'm stronger in the daytime, so easily, but the truth comes out in whispers when it's just me. When it's just me, and the walls don't lie, when there's no one here to watch me try, when the noise fades out and the night runs deep, that's when I feel how much you meant to me. I can say I'm healing, I can say I'm free, but it all falls apart when it's just me. You're still in the room, still leave a little space, like you're coming home soon. I talk about you softer now, like it doesn't sting, but your name still echoes in everything. No anger in our ending, no war left to fight, just a quiet kind of breaking in the middle of the night, when it's just me and there's nowhere to hide. No friends, no laughter, no busy escapes. I reach across the mattress to an empty sheet and remember how your heartbeat used to steady me. It would be easier to hate you if you'd left me angrily, but you left so gently. Now it's just me. I almost wish you'd shattered me, given me something clear, 'cause anger fades with distance, but kindness keeps you near. Not every love ends loudly, not every heart explodes. Sometimes it just goes silent, and nobody knows when it's just me. And the morning breaks, and I wake up to the space you made, when I don't have to pretend I'm fine, honey, okay, and I let my missing habits say, maybe sometimes this ache won't follow me, but tonight I'm still learning how to be when it's just me. ocean of fire, didn't drown in a lie. No secrets in the shadows, no one left to despise. You still held the door open, still traced circles on my skin. But somewhere in the quiet, we felt the ending settling in. No poison in our words, no anger in our eyes, just two people brave enough to face a soft goodbye. This was love without feelings, no one to accuse, no broken trust between us, no one had to lose. We just stood in the truth with trembling hands, watching something beautiful slip through our plans. It would be easier to hate you, but heaven knows I can't. This was love without feelings, and that's what makes it sad. You said you deserve forever, and I know you meant it too. But forever isn't promised just because love feels true. Your tears fell with my heartbeat on the kitchen floor that night. How can something feel so gentle and still not be right? I almost wished for anger, for something sharp to blame, but kindness leaves a deeper mark when no one's wrong or shamed. This was love without villains, no war, no crime, no one walked away careless. We just ran out of time. We didn't break from cruelty, we didn't break from lies. We just couldn't be each other's, always in disguise. It would be easier to curse you, to say you never cared, but this was love without feelings, and that's harder to bear. Now I'm learning how to miss you without turning you to stone, how to let you be my memory without losing my own. Not every shattered promise comes from something cool. Sometimes love is honest, and honesty is brutal. This was love without feelings, but it still broke my heart. No shattered glass between us, just two worlds pulled apart. You didn't steal my dignity, you didn't leave me scarred. You just couldn't stay beside me when it got too hard. And I'll always hold the sweetness of who we were back then. This was love without feelings, but it still had to end. I your suitcase, sitting by the door, like you'd already made your mind up before you said a word. You held me like it hurt you, like you almost couldn't stay. Your arms were wrapped around me, but your heart was miles away. I begged you just to talk it out, to tell me what had changed, but love was slipping through your hands while I was holding on to pain. You walked anyway, even with my tears on your sleeve, even when my voice was shaking, begging you not to leave. You walked anyway, past the life we made, past the promises we swore would never fade. I gave you all I had to give, but you walked anyway. The house still feels like you in every little thing. Your shadow in the hallway, your echo in the sink. I replay that final moment, your hand against the frame. You looked at me like you were sorry, but sorry doesn't stay. If love was still inside you, why didn't it fight? Why did you choose the door instead of choosing us that night? You walked anyway, through the cracks in my heart, through the pieces of forever falling apart. You walked anyway, like it was easy to do, like leaving me was lighter than loving me through. I would have stayed through anything, but you walked anyway. Did you feel the weight of it the second that you turned? Did you hear my world collapse, or did you let it burn? I would have crossed 1,000 lines just to make you stay, but love can't beg forever if one heart's already away. Soft breathing, how to breathe in the silence you left behind, trying to find the strength to leave you off my mind. You walked anyway, even when I still believed, even when I loved you with everything in me. You walked anyway, and I can't understand how you could hold my heart and let go of my hand. I would have given you my whole life, but you walked anyway. Maybe one day I'll forgive the moment you chose your way, but tonight I'm just the girl you loved, then walked away. You walked away. Now I replay that evening, too quiet to ignore. You folded laundry slowly, like you'd done 1,000 times before. Your touch was soft but distant. Your smile didn't stay. There was peace inside the silence, but something slipped away. No storm out on the horizon, no thunder in the air, just a stillness in your breathing that told me you weren't there. It was the calm before leaving, the hush before the fall. No shattered glass between us, no writing on the wall. You held me like forever wasn't already gone, like love could stand unbroken when it wasn't strong. It would have hurt less screaming than how it's hurting now. It was the calm before leaving, and I didn't know how. You asked me how my day went, like everything was fine, but I could feel the distance in the spacing between the lines. Your suitcase stayed in the closet, but your heart was packed to go. Sometimes goodbye is quiet before it even shows. I almost wish for chaos, for something loud and clear, 'cause silence leaves a heavier kind of fear. It was the calm before leaving, the gentlest goodbye. No anger in your voice, just truth in your eyes. We didn't break from hatred, we didn't break from lies. We just stood there holding on while love slowly died. It's lonelier than fighting when nothing feels untrue. It was the calm before leaving me without you. How peace can feel like mercy right before the death. Not every ending crashes, not every heart explodes. Sometimes it slowly unravels, and no one even knows. It was the calm before leaving, and I felt it too late. The quiet kind of heartbreak you can't anticipate. You kissed me like you loved me, and maybe you still do. But loving isn't staying when staying isn't true. There were no warning sirens, just a silence deep and blue. It was the calm